Hi, guys. My name is Amena K. Thornton, and you are listening to the One Up podcast with Amena K. You can catch these live videos at amena.media to get to the YouTube channel. Today, we're doing a series called Message of Hope, Stories from Struggle to Success. And we have Matthew Scott in the room today, and he's going to be sharing his message to never give up, have faith, and believe in yourself. And Matthew's here. We just had a little bit of chat, and I know that he's up in London, but it's not London, England. It is London in Canada. Ontario? How do you say it?
Yeah, Ontario.
Ontario? So it's like an A?
Yep.
Okay. Ontario. All right. So I got that. So
tongue twister.
What's that?
Little tongue twister for the morning.
Yeah, well, some names that I get on last names are just like, can you say that? 'Cause, some names can be difficult. So I'm pretty good at first names now, but some of the last names still, because it's the vowels, especially because I have a global audience, and I look at like an AI and or E, and I try to say it the American English way, and it's totally not correct in other places in the world. So yeah, you always have to ask.
Yeah, as long as you're trying, that's all, right?
Yeah, definitely. So Matthew, where do you want to start off on your journey and let everybody know what's your message today?
Well, I mean, I guess start off as a young lad, like I didn't grow up in the streets or like in the hood or anything that was, as most
like
stories start off. I was very fortunate. My parents were hard workers. My dad was a very successful businessman. They're both hard workers, instilled a lot of values into me, and I was given every opportunity given to me as a kid, and I took advantage of it, and like I didn't listen, and like I was filled with anger a lot, and I kind of just blamed everybody for a lot of stuff, and it was a lot of energy, to be honest with you. And the negative energy is a lot of work. until I kind of saw the other side of it, it was kind of like the positive, happy side is just so easy. Like it's amazing how it even changes your whole life and mindset, because you can either think of something so negative or think of something so positive, and not even think of the negatives. I'm sure there's negatives in everything. Absolutely there is, but it's just to focus on the positives where it kind of kept me alive.
Yeah, I can relate. I could see that though. Yeah, now you mentioned that, it's so draining. It's so draining when you start thinking negative and have those emotions come up. Whereas positive, it's so carefree and relaxed and open. Yeah.
You don't exert that energy. Like it was just so like I used to like throw phones and just like throw little anger temper tantrums, and I took a course on anger management. I ended up teaching it, and it was just like we point the finger, but we should be pointing the finger at us. I was like, you're allowing that to happen. You're allowing that person you're allowing that emotion, but it's nothing.
I think we forget that we have complete control of our emotions. As a human, we are gifted that we can control our emotions, but we never are taught that, So we just like leave that door wide open. We like try to control everything else except what's really important, right?
Yeah, it was actually through therapy where it changed my mind. She's like, because my therapist was like, "Where do you get that from?" And I like, as much as I love my father, he wasn't aggressive or abusive, but he was just very like
stern,
very stern and angry.
One.
And I adopted that, right? Like we're byproducts of our environment, and we're taught to deal with certain things based on our environment. So that's why I guess they really say look at the 7 most people around you, and you are that. And that just kind of clicked. I'm like, wow. So that's when, like, I was like into drugs. I was selling drugs. I was like in the bad part of my life. Like, I'm not ashamed of any of this. Like it's not me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a lonely path though. Like it's to really change. It's tough. It's you're giving up not giving up friends. It's not that I can't be around them. I'm just not strong enough to be with them, like, so I'm not judging. I don't judge anybody for
I
what
like how
they
you
want to
said
do.
that because yeah, I really like how you said that because even when I was like first teaching like personal development and stuff, I was like, go through your friends list and start, like unfriending people. But in reality, it doesn't work because you're always gonna have people that come into your life that's going to give you that negative energy. So you really just have to be more focused on your boundaries. You got to set that clear boundaries and say, this is who people I'll accept, these are the people I won't accept, this is the way that I will treat people, so this is the way I expect people to treat me, and if they don't treat me like that way, I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to give them the energy to respond. And that's the only reason, because you're always going to have people that are that. And really, in reality, you said like your father had all this energy, and mine does too. You can't just get rid of like family members in a way. It's more difficult. Unless it is severe. And then there's other measures you can do, right? But I don't want anybody listening to think that they're if they're in an abusive relationship or anything like that. Mentally abusive, physically abusive, sexually abusive, financially abusive. That is not cool. You need to go get help. Seriously, go get help. If you need some direction, just reach out to me and I'll lead you on that path. Yeah, I like how you said that because it is really like how you are setting your boundaries and controlling your
own. When you said that, it struck me too, because I do like that, because I was in rehab and I didn't have a major problem. I was in Fort McMurray. I mean, obviously it's a beautiful town. I love the people, the culture, everybody. I really grew up there. It's a place like in Canada here. It's where the oil patch is, and that's where we mine all our oil. So everyone goes there to make money, and it's a land of opportunity and stuff like that. Anyways, I failed the drug test because I was smoking weed and steroids at the time. And the biggest thing I learned from that was who are you and what do you believe in?
Yeah.
And that I used that for a long time, because every time I got into a situation that I could feel like I had like a little anxiety from it or a little angry from it. And I really dug deep. Anger is fear. So anger is fear and fear is love. So what did I fear? And then what does it follow my belief system and what I value? So that was the biggest change for me. And it just constantly built that new mantra of mine. And that's where it clicked in me when you said that.
That's cool.
It was
glad
just
I could help.
right. And it's amazing how even just a simple thought process or just a simple man, I started dancing in the morning. Actually, I thought it was the most ridiculous thing in the world. And so
it's
my friend told me that
it's energy, and
and it changes your whole mood. At first, you're like, oh, and then you're like, yeah, woo,
I like that.
Gives you that boost.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, yeah. So like, I mean, I was a very angry person. I was negative, never happy, never satisfied. Always thought things were happening against me. But life happens for you, not against you. I find, it happens later, when you break up with that girl, or when you get fired from that job, or that journey ended, or something. You don't see it at that time, but
there's messages in the universe. I really, since I gave up TV over a year ago, like February, and just dug into this like self-reflection and like where my direction and my path, where I wanted to go, and when I, what relationships I want to keep and which ones I want to, say goodbye to. And, just doing that, it's like you start to notice stuff, or you hear. If you are not familiar with mindset, I teach mindset, but basically you have the voices in your head, right? Well, there is, the one that is your intuition. It's basically like the universe. And if you can basically, I don't want to sound like all weird here, but basically, if you can,
no, it's speaking your truth. It's okay.
If you can, I guess you could say tap into that or whatever, I don't believe in like, okay, like there's I don't want to say a higher source. It's basically natural law, the way I teach it. there, we are all energy, and energy is all around us, and that's what connects us and everything like that. But if you can actually, when you listen to your intuition and then you start seeing it and you're just like, well, wait, I understand now where I'm supposed to go from here. So I went through this, and here, because you're trying to control the future, I realize you're always trying to control the future, but you can't, because you're trying to control it off your past experiences, but you can't do that.
That's all you know.
You can't do that, because if you don't want to live in that past experience, then you don't know what's going to come into the future. So
it's like people think it's insane. Like they're like, "Oh, that's insane." I'm like, you make it sound like that's like crazy or something. But do you know the real definition of insanity? It's the same thing, doing the same thing over and over again, doing different results. We are a byproduct of our past, so we only know what we know.
Albert Einstein,
and we have to challenge ourselves. Yeah, have to challenge your mind. You have to challenge yourself. The challenge to be different. Push past the fear, because your body is like, it's like a defense mechanism. Your body's never done it. No. Your body doesn't know it.
It was scared.
So it's
like
scared.
out of comfort zone. And it doesn't matter if it's healthy for you. You could be getting out of a totally terrible situation. It's like, I don't know what it's going to do. So yeah.
And it's just, once you get past that, it's so uplifting, and then it starts the engine, and you just roll with it. And then the next obstacle you try, you're like, last one wasn't that bad. Let's do this again. Like it's just once you get past that initial uncomfortability, it's just like you just thrive in that era. Like now it's like when I recognize that I'm uncomfortable, I'm like, okay, here we go. Like, what am I going to learn now?
I was just listening to, I know we're getting off topic here, guys, but I just want to throw this in real fast and we'll get back on track. I was just listening to Pitbull, the singer rapper Pitbull. He speaks about his business, right? And he was saying that he used to fear, like not fear, but he used to get so angry when people like sued him, and like when artists would like drop off his tracks, and events canceled and all that other stuff. But he's been in the business a long time and everything like that. And he said, but then I realized, during, these issues, right? These things these struggles that I dealt with, that was actually the best thing that could ever happen by the time, I got over that hurdle. So now he's like, if things come too easy, I know I'm going in the wrong direction, and I need to find the struggle. I need to find the resistance. Right. So he actually now searches for the resistance, and and what he's
sounds like a Star Wars
doing.
Thing.
I was like, that is an interesting way to look at it. So he says now
it's true though. Like if you live in the insane world, you don't, like I tell people, be sane. Don't be insane. Like be sane.
Yeah, yeah. Don't be crazy. So okay, so you went to go make money, I guess, at the oil field.
Yeah,
right? Or
yeah,
how did you switch that?
Money.
Like you okay, so you were on steroids, you did some drugs, or you sold drugs, or
I was in a bad, I was 400 pounds, believe it or not. I'm 235 pounds now. I was on an oxygen tank, I had sleep apnea for 5 years. I had high blood pressure. I couldn't walk up the stairs. I was passing out sometimes.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like
that's serious. Yeah.
I mean, I was like in the worst, like I felt like my doctors are saying, like, they're looking at me like, dude, you're going to die. Like if you don't take care of yourself. And I started working for a fitness club traveling Canada, as a site supervisor. And I just always, there's no more to life. And like, I was just like working out, and some things weren't working and some things were. And like, I wake up mad and angry and sad, and no doctor couldn't explain it. And then I saw a naturopath.
Yeah.
And he totally blew my mind, because he's like, your reason why your body's not, like, I couldn't get under, I went up and down in weight. I lost 150 pounds, gained 60, went down 40, gained 50. I could never really stay below the 300 mark. And he's like, wow, you have candida, you have vitamin deficiency, so my body doesn't produce B12s.
Okay.
And
that's a natural deficiency, actually, B12 and B6. Since I take a supplement. I take a supplement too.
Totally changed the life, man. Did you notice the difference?
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like I would like.
I'm a big advocate on supplements. I've been taking supplements for like almost 4 years now. Yeah. So
that's
yeah. So yeah.
I don't know about you, but I would wake up crying or super angry. I couldn't focus. I couldn't sleep. But like it was just, and then my doctor explained, he's like, your emotions are produced by your B12. So if you don't give your body what it needs,
I don't know exactly like the connection between them all, but yeah, that's cool. So
but it's your B12, your B's are your anxiety, your depression, your sex drive, your testosterone, your like anxiety, everything. Like it has everything to do with it. It's so and anyways. So then I found out I was gluten. I'm almost celiac, not full celiac, but I can't have gluten. I can't have dairy.
That's good. And I gave up dairy a long time ago, except for cheese, and I realized my face was still breaking out quite a bit, and I was like, "What am I eating?" But I'm like, because I eat a really clean diet, and I was like, "Well, I still eat cheese." I was like, "Let me try to cut that out." And ever since I went dairy free, I went actually vegan October, and that so it really pinpointed exactly what I was still eating. And I was like, okay, well, I'm still taking. Well, at that point, I was still taking cheese, and then that helped. And then with the switch, I was eating a little bit more processed vegan stuff, which I totally don't believe in. But I ended up. I'm eating fish again now. So I'm eating fish and mostly vegan. And that's helped a lot. But it's experimenting,
really
right?
Comes down it really comes down to what you are, what you eat. You got to give your body what it really needs. Like I used to eat the pizzas, the hot dogs and everything. I used to get made fun of. Because I used to eat the chicken, the veggies and rice and same thing all the time. And I got on the meal plan and like that's part of my whole journey. Like I never gave up. Like it was just like, okay, well for 4 years, like I was feel like I was dying. Like I literally felt like I was dying when I was 400 pounds.
Oh, I bet.
And just these doctors just say lose weight, but it wasn't that easy. And then it was like, do a boot camp. And then I had to train myself on meals and like I had like 4 trainers and I had to find the right trainer and the therapist and like and then the homeopath and like I had 10 doctors telling me everything's okay, and then I'm like, well, nothing's.
I don't feel okay. Yeah, I don't feel okay. Yeah, wow. Did you actually track your meals and stuff then too? So you did the natural like weight body lifting type schedule, chicken, rice, and vegetables, basically. That's the common one that I hear a lot.
All it is. Like like it's just
amazing though.
Simple.
It's super easy.
Simple. It's so simple. We complicate it.
Yeah.
People ask me, I take my vitamins and I eat every day. I've lost, since COVID happened in March, I've lost another like 15 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I haven't worked out as much every day. And it's just, alcohol is the worst. Alcohol sits down
I haven't had alcohol in, I think 2 years now. It's been, I've already forgotten. It's been a while.
Right? I don't miss it. It's just but the mind clarity and now I got even meditation, as I said, I went on when I moved to Fort McMurray, I went on this huge journey of just saying, I'm okay, well, I'm going to try something different. Like, I'm tired of being this. I'm tired of being 350 pounds. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of that. I've never ran a marathon. So I ran 21 kilometers in 3.5 hours.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh, I've never done swimming. I've never played football in my older age. I never played rugby for 10 years. I did everything. I just signed up for everything. And I found out what I like to do because my life was spent drinking and drugs.
Yeah.
And that's all I knew.
You didn't get to experience like life, basically. You were stuck in just that cycle.
Yeah, like as a kid, my dad gave me every opportunity in the camps and he got me into sports and all that stuff. And then I slipped into the wrong crowd. And I mean, I still love some of the guys, but I see now why he was so hard on me and like he didn't like me hanging out with certain people, but it's just like I took it for granted. I took my life for granted because it was given to me.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's other people out there that didn't have the opportunity, and it's just they're that drive. They have that drive in them. And like I had to hit rock bottom multiple times. Like I was 30 grand in debt, 400 pounds, couldn't sustain. I was on the road, couldn't sustain a relationship because I was on the road all the time. And like my mental health state of mind, like I was anxiety all the time. Like I was a mess. Like I am shocked that I'm still alive. Like some days, but I mean, I had to make the life change, you know, like.
Yeah, you did that momentum. So you had a goal. You set in your mind, you set a goal. You're like, I'm tired of being this way. I'm tired of feeling like this. So you did everything possible to get out of that. And that's where a lot of people see that they get stuck in. In fact, that's like 99% of society. They like see a goal and they're just not motivated enough. There's nothing that drives them every day to do it.
Well, it's the fear. So, it comes back to that fear, I find, though. I've had multiple conversations with people, and like it's like you and I, like, you know, like I know we've been through this. It's like the unknown. So it's like I have debt and I want to start my own business or my own real estate business, but I'm afraid of not having that paycheck and comfortability of that constant money coming in. But I don't like my life and I'm miserable and I hate working for my boss and I can't find something I love, but I love doing this. And it's that fear. It's the fear of the unknown that holds us back.
It is. Yeah.
So it's like once you get, like I said, once you get past, just be okay with it. Just say, I'm okay with my journey. I'm okay with not having that. I'm gonna work my butt off and make it happen.
Yeah.
I tell you, I'm 3 years into my business.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just do it. You show up every day. It doesn't matter how hard it is, how broke you are, if you don't have any checks coming in, you have no jobs, you got nothing, you show up every day, you give it 100%. And you put a smile on your face, and I hate to say it, I don't like saying fake it till you make it, but you just do what you need to do and grind it out.
Oh,
it's like life is opportunities. I like to look at life as a house of opportunities. Like when you walk in a house, you see windows and doors. And like every room has a different every door is a different opportunity, and then every window is a reflection on back in your life what you don't want, what you do and you don't want, your beliefs and values. Then it has another door. You can open up another door of opportunity, and when that room has another windows and doors, so you can reflect on everything else around you. So there's opportunities around you. You just got to be willing to take it.
I like that imagery you gave on that. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's good visual. Yeah.
Right? I try, you know, it's just amazing once you just let go of everything. Like we're not, like you said, we're not alone. You're not the only one thinking it. You're not the only one struggling. You're not the only one once you realize, when my turning point was reaching out and talking to other people just like yourself, not therapists or anybody else, just friends or people that I met at mental health associations and everything, that are just like, you're okay. And once you say that you're okay and you believe it, everything will change, because it's like you focus, it's what you focus on. It's like, I don't even focus on anything negative anymore. I'm like, you know what? I had a bad day. Tomorrow's another day. I did my best. It was okay. And I'm just going to go do what I need to do just to reset.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's okay.
Yeah. And that's actually a mindset thing that touches a lot on the mindset practice. It's like an area of personal development, but the way I like to say it, it's basically your belief system. Mindset is your belief system. So, you know, it depends how long it takes you to believe it, but once you believe it, then, you know, you can really shape your life if you can control the way you think. So basically, like, I like how you put in here that you said that, you know, you connected with people like me and other people in the mental health space. And it wasn't until you ran into other people that said, you know, you are okay. And, you know, you're not alone and stuff, that you said that you believed them. And that is mindset. So basically everything that comes into your life, that could be physical objects, it can be people, it can be connections, it can be work, it can be anything that enters your life. You can say, this cup, it is real. And I could say, no, it's not. And you don't take that as your information. This will not mean nothing to you. It is not programmed into you to be a cup. You see what I'm saying? But once you agree with me and say, yes, I agree that's the cup, and I can say there's water in it. You can either agree with me or not, right? And when you agree with me, you are setting that program into your mind and saying, okay, there's a cup, it has water. And so whenever you see a cup, you're going to think the cup holds water, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the basics of it. It goes much deeper, and that's why I love teaching it.
Yeah, like,
but yeah, so
great.
Yeah.
My friend, like, and I say this every time I'm going through hard times, is that it's not happening to you, it's happening for you.
Yeah.
And I find that really just helps shift my mind. I'm like, it's just happening for me. It's just happening for me. And then he just kind of just dwindles away. Like, it just, nothing's really, like, it's like how you really handle it. Like, we create a lot of stuff. Like, I think we talked about this. Like, we just create that emotion. It's like, oh, this guy made me angry. He's pissing me off, doing this. I'm like, no. You're allowing him.
That's true. Yeah.
You're allowing that. He didn't activate that anger mode in you. You did. So what do you fear? You fear being embarrassed. You fear being making fun of. You fear of not being loved. You fear of not being heard. I'm like, that's the real. Nobody believes that, but if you really dig deep and think about what the real problem is, because your anger is just not anger. Anger comes from something. So it's like, yeah, like, it's just, it's mindset is everything. It's just so, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is. And, you know, it should be taught more. It really should. Because, I mean, it's the basis for everything. Like, your whole belief system. The whole reason, your purpose in life, basically, you know, revolves around your beliefs. And how, and then on that, you know, how you take in emotions and take in connections and relationships. And yeah, it goes on, you know? So it's just crazy.
It gets better, man. Like, it's just
there. But you don't focus
it's amazing.
on it. Yeah,
no, we focus on the wrong things. You focus, and it holds you back, though. If you hold on to those negative entities all the time, like, you're holding yourself back, and then life brings you back around until you learn that lesson. It's like you just gotta, like, people just gotta move on sometimes. It's not like life's too short. Like, it's
yeah. So yeah, I mean, how long did it take you said 150 pounds, right? Yeah, how long did that take? I'm just curious.
So I'm 36 now. I was at 27. I was 400 pounds. And
okay, so about 10 years?
It's about 10 years, but I was up and down. It took me like about a solid year just to get below 300.
Okay.
And then it was just a journey of up and down. I gained, like I said, I was down to 240, and then I shot, like, I was at 300 for like 2-3 years, floating up and down until I really found the root causes of everything. And it was just, the food, the diet, the gluten, the dairy, the vitamins, and that's what really skyrocketed everything. And when everyone else is saying, oh, you're fine, you're fine.
Were you exercising daily too? Twice
a day.
Twice a day. Okay, wow.
So when I was 400 pounds, and I've got to have a 7-year relationship because of my weight. Well, not because of my weight, but it was just going downhill. But it had a big factor to it. And at first I was doing 2 hours a day. Wake up in the morning, go for a 45-minute run, and then when I come back, I would do a.
Uh-oh. Did I lose you, Matthew? Matthew, I think we lost you for a second. Let's see if we can get you back. I think you lost connection. Hold on. Let's see if we can get Matthew back on here. Oh, we lost him here. It shows him is still there, but his camera and stuff just died. Let me check my connections. My connections are still good. Okay, something happened to his connection because he's trying to get back into the room now. All right, Matthew, you there? I lost you.
There we go. I'm back.
Hey, there you are. I was like, what happened? It just paused on my end. So
okay.
good to have you back.
My phone. My phone overheated there, but
Uh, it got too
where were we at
excited.
there?
So you were explaining your day, what your day looks like. So when you were going through your journey,
like I was eating like a rabbit, and like I was working out twice a day, and like I was just really like I didn't really know what I was doing. I just know working out and eating like a rabbit helped, and like that's when I shot down in weight, and then like I was seeing trainers, and I just consult different trainers on different regimes, and like I like it basically like you need I got further ahead. I lost weight, gained weight, but what I found is that your body adapts to everything. So it's like when you do like I would never push myself. Like I ended up I would never push myself. So I would stay at that like 100-pound bench press and be like, oh, I'm gonna get my reps in, and this is good. I've been doing it for 2 months, but I never see any results. But you have to add those 5 pounds. You have to add those 2 pounds. Add the 25 pounds because you got to trick your body, and it's just because your body really does get used to everything that you do, even the meals that you eat, like what you eat, and everything. Like it just adapts, and so it wasn't really in like I got into powerlifting and strongman competition.
Okay, cool, very cool.
That's where this whole thing went, to be honest with you. Just because of the people I hung out with and their success and passion for fitness and health, and like that's what Fort McMurray was really all about. That's where I kind of got into the steroids, was that everyone was so into fitness, and everyone's there for you. And but like sometimes I'd work out 3 hours a day. Like I would have so many mental days. Like I this is my growth period where I would just sit on the Stairmaster. I know everyone's like, "Ooh, the Stairmaster."
Hey, it works.
But I would crush the Stairmaster for like an hour.
Wow.
And just like I would get lost in my mind and just be like, and that's when I love challenging myself. I'm like, oh, I bench pressed 300 pounds 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna see if I can do 310.
Yeah.
I mean, even people are like not impressed that you can do 400-pound deadlift, but you did it once. That's amazing. Like you should
that's
be
a
happy.
lot of weight. That's a lot of
right.
I can't even imagine lifting that much. Yeah, that's a lot.
I pulled a bus when it was all like we pulled a Greyhound coach bus and strapped to us with a harness. We walked 75 feet. That alone with the Triumph, that's where strongman really taught me you have no limits. You just got to try. As long as you do it once, you've done it once.
Yeah.
And then your mind knows that it's done it. So it's like, and then it knows it can do it again. It can do more, and then that's when it kind of like keeps going with it.
That's the same with business. You realize that when you add a service or a product or something, or you try something new, my podcast, you can say it's not too old right now, but once you start the momentum and then, you get guests or you get clients or you get confirmed in that space, then you're like, from here I can go anywhere because, you're
confident. Yeah, because I'll come back to the treadmill analogy where I like you in this because I'm sure you've been at the gym and like I sure have been on the treadmill and like
four last year. I loved them. They're all different. I had my aerial one that did the aerial stuff. The first time I ever did it, it was so fun. And unfortunately, they went out of business during the COVID thing because it was a mom and pop type thing. So I'm super sad about that. But and then the other one was Sky Zone. Do you have a Sky Zone up there? So basically, the trampoline park. Oh yeah, we had a membership. So I was going there, jumping around with the kids. I was like, all these other parents, forget them. I
but I think you're the only person doing everyone else. Your parents sitting around. I'm doing twists.
Yeah, they're on their phone. I was like, I'm jumping around. They have basketball hoops, and here I am, like doing behind me, doing it from this, like trying all kinds of things, like one-handed. That's so much fun.
Man, that's a lot of fun. Bring me back to being a kid, man.
Why? Yeah, YMCA I was a member of, and a kickboxing gym I joined with a friend of mine, and that was really fun.
That's a good word.
It was. I was like, oh my God, I've never seen abs before. And I started like now, yeah, it's gone since COVID because, you know, no gyms were open. So I just asked some people on my network. I was like, anybody know how to install one of these things? Because I would love to have something in my house. So yeah,
I think that's the next biggest thing, to be honest with you.
What's that?
Gyms, but
yeah.
That's the next biggest thing is home gyms.
Yeah, well,
But
sounds
the
fun.
treadmill is
I
like
have a space, but you know, it's about seeing people too. You know,
it is.
so
I like the community of it. That's where I love the grunge gyms where you just like the people. There's like 20, 30 people in there. And it's like old gym, and everyone knows everyone. Everyone's supportive of everyone.
I miss that. Yeah.
It's just so uplifting when you have somebody. It's like because I was 400 pounds in the gym, and I actually do this now, where I see another overweight person in the gym crushing it, and he's on that treadmill or he's on the stairmaster. I don't care what he's doing, and he's working it. And I just know his mentality because I was there, and I just go up and people thrive off this. That's why I love doing this, because if you go up to somebody that's like, you know, out of shape, whatever, and at the gym, and you go up to him and say, hey man, I really like what you're doing. Keep up the good work. It pays off. Trust me. And you just share your little bit of a story. I've seen that person every day at the gym. I'm there, and they're just grinding it. And they come up and talk to you, and they even said, thank you for saying that, because just to have a little encouragement goes a long way. And and like I tell you, I thought I was the only people. I thought people were staring at me because like, what is this big guy doing in the gym? What is that like? What is he trying to do? Does he think he's kidding himself? It was the complete opposite. They were cheering for me. Go for it, bud.
Yes, if you get, I mean, you're gonna possibly run into some really crappy situations and just feel like, whatever, it's not your journey, you know. It's like they're dealing with their stuff, and who cares? You keep on your track, you know. Yeah, so many more people that also
doesn't matter. That brings up another topic where I'm like, I was doing strongman competitions, and we do lift heavy weight and stuff, and I'd have my friends come to the gym and work out with me and stuff, and they try to keep up, and I'm like, man, you've never worked out in how many 2 years, and you're trying to deadlift like half of what I'm like. It's not a competition. Stop looking around at what other people are lifting or what people are doing, because I tell you, a lot of people are overlifting too much weight because their form is bad, and you just gotta be patient and work your way up to that weight and make sure your form is good, because I really see it, and people have commented to me. They're like, oh, look at that guy. He's curling 100 pounds. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go try 80. I'm like, man, he's not even curling it properly. I'm like, I'd rather see you curl 40 pounds properly and work up. You will get to 80 or 100 eventually, but you got to start and do things properly. Don't rush it. Take your time, you know, like that treadmill, like that Stairmaster, because every time I'm on that thing, I'm on it for an hour at level 20. Like I worked my way up to that, and I'm sweating. I don't care what I look like. It looks like I really don't care. I look like the gorilla in the gym. Like it doesn't bother me, right? I've had people drop off like flies at 7 to 10 minutes, and they tap me on the shoulder. I'm like, buddy, I don't know how you're doing this. And I just said it takes one day at a time. I said to him, I started off at 5 minutes at level 1. And it took me like 2 to 3 weeks to build up to, or even a month, to get to an hour at level 20. It's not easy, but you just got to keep pushing yourself to do it. And I tell you, an hour at level 20 was hard at first. It was easy. And I tell you, the weight just came on. Like it was this liquid.
You look back and you're like, oh my God, I can't even believe that I started at this level, because you know, you go back to like trying to remember what you started at, or you have a journal. I had a journal for a while. I lost a lot of weight too, myself, up and down as well. I had 3 kids, and so every time I had a kid, I gained like 80 pounds over my weight, and I was already like a little bit overweight anyway, so it was not healthy. But during my own fitness journey, I remember, you know, I do trail running, which mine's kind of like more of a jog, kind of like walk. It's everything. I sprint. I just have fun. So, you know, I remember like, you know, I set a goal. I'm like, I'm going to do a mile. And then the kids I dropped them off at their program, and I'm like, I have an hour and 15 minutes. I just need to get a mile. you know, and then I started at a mile, and then I finally mastered the mile. I'm like, I'm going to push myself to 3 miles. And if it can be walking, jogging, running,
Yeah.
swimming, whatever, I just need to get 3 miles. And oh my God,
It
my
doesn't matter how
legs
you do it.
were like killing. I couldn't walk like hardly or anything. And I was like, but in 3 days, we're going back to the gym. So my body better get in shape because I'm going to do 3 more miles. And oh my God, just the initial, it's the momentum, the start. Some people just say, oh my God, my leg hurts. I got to go take a Tylenol. I'm done, you know? And it's like, no, you got to keep going.
Yes. Man, I tell you, when I did the 21K, my legs were shot. Like I was like wobbling. I couldn't walk for 2 days.
You're supposed to be like that. You're okay. Keep going.
Yeah. Oh, I actually walked the last 2 kilometers because I couldn't even run anymore. Like it was just, whoo. But it's like that's like just keep going. Like it just the pain is temporary.
Yeah.
Quitting lasts forever.
Yeah.
And it's like, would you rather quit? You're gonna quit because there's a little bit of pain. I mean, I got a tattoo. I mean, I don't know if you can kind of see it. It says "Train past the pain."
What is it?
It says "train." It's kind of hard to read.
Train past the pain.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Like so my dad died. My dad, grandma, my uncle, and my sister-in-law's sister, and my aunt died all within 6 months.
Oh wow.
4 years ago.
Wow.
And so some I wasn't totally close with, some I was super close with. But that taught me is just like it was kind of like a strongman thing at first, but it kind of became a mindset for me. And my grandma, I got another tattoo, my grandma's initials right there, KZ. Both these tattoos have big, huge meanings to me of never giving up because like my grandma literally never gave up. She was from Poland, was taken away. Her family was taken from her. She had to go on her own to survive. Got captured by the German army because she had to steal food to feed herself. So she got captured by the German army, thrown in camp to make bombs and ammunition for the German army.
Wow.
And there's in those camps it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. There was like a lot of kids were taking raped and taken advantage of and stuff. She fell in love and like they tattooed their initials on their wrists and like so she survived, had 7 kids. One of them was my mom, obviously. Left Canada. We came to Canada, raised like it's just her. Those tattoos between Train Past the Pain and those initials, I look at when things are getting tough because it's like literally pain is temporary, quitting lasts forever.
Yeah, and she sure didn't quit. Her story, like, and I got to think about my own grandfather's story too because he was actually from Poland. He had a number tattooed on him when he was a baby because growing up,
he was
in the war and stuff. He was in the camp as a baby, and he survived it because it was like I think he was only there a month, and then they ended up, coming, getting him. But so he grew up with the tattoo, on him, and he never would talk about it. Like I asked my mom. He passed a long time ago, but when I was very young. But I remember asking my mom what it was, and she told me a little bit what she knew, but he would never talk about it. It was like something that was mentioned. So
she never talked about it
huge
either.
Respect for people that had to go through wartime situations, and just wow, our life is so easy compared to that. I can
That's what I'm saying. People are like, oh, it's hard to work out, or it's hard to this. I'm like, compared to what, man? What do you like hard? Like difficult maybe because you've never done it before, and that's why I encourage my niece and nephew. I don't have any kids, but my niece and nephew, I encourage that. They like it's something you've never done. You don't know till you try it. So just give it your all. And if you like it, you don't like it. If it's not for you, then that's fine. But don't say you can't do anything because it's a choice. We make choices every day. So.
Yeah, definitely. So you lost all this weight and everything else, and then you told me you worked a bit at the oil field for 4 years, right? And where did your journey go from there? I mean, what got you into mental health, the mental health industry? Because you said you did some board of supervise.
Board of directors. I was on the board of
directors. That's what it is.
You guys call them states. We call them provinces.
Yes.
So I just moved to Fort McMurray. I was going through a lot at the time. Mentally, I just didn't understand myself. I was going through anxiety. My mind was racing. I was in depression. Like, it's a small town of like 80,000 people, and everyone's on shift work, like week on, week off. So like it's hard to meet people. So I was really alone. I moved up, and this is like 5 hours from the nearest city. Like, you're northern Canada. Like, it's way up there. And so I just started volunteering with the Canadian Mental Health Association up here, and then they just left my passion and drive to understand myself and help other people. And so I got on the board there, and then from there it kind of just blossomed, and like I worked a ton up there, and now I work for myself. I quit my job. Actually, I won't be afraid. I got fired from there. It was a blessing. I was totally miserable, and I was planning on getting out of there.
That's probably what happened. You sent out that energy, and they're just like, you better let him go.
It's true.
He's gonna
so true.
That's how it happens usually. You're not happy.
It does. It was like I was sitting on my front porch. I just bought 2 houses, and I quit lost my job. I'm thinking, what the hell am I?
Oh, geez, yeah.
I'm like, I only got a certain amount of money in the bank. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, I thought I was I didn't know what I was like. I want to work for myself. I want to get this job, but I don't want to work for anybody else.
Yeah.
And so I did it. Here I am 4 years later. I've developed a real estate investment company. I buy houses off market, and I create other opportunities for people to be the bank. I'm just going to throw that in there, whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at an international portfolio in the next couple of years. Like, my life is, I wake up some days, and actually during COVID, it actually was an awakening for me, because it was like, I have a house, and I have the truck I want, and I have the life that I want, and I have money. I'm not in debt. I'm like, holy cannoli. I'm like, I did it. Where I was like I thought I was not going to do it, and I have to go back to work. Would have to do shift work, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, flying across the country to go work again, and that scares the shit out of me. Like,
yeah, because it takes you back. That takes you back, because then you can't concentrate on what you're working toward. So you're just like, well, then what did I do all this work for? I mean, here I am, and I'm going backwards.
I wasn't going back. Yeah, no going backwards. So
I'm not going back. Yeah.
You just have to figure it out. You just figure it out. Like, you just network and you talk. This is where, like, in my business is like, so I teach people to be the bank and use other people's money. Like, I use other people's money to buy these properties, and that's real estate investing. And if you don't ask and give your ask what you need to the world, it doesn't come to you. And that's where conversations, like, I just talk to people like yourself, and I'm not a sales guy with that. I hate the sales pitches. I just talk, and then people know what I do, and and people just know what to do with those resources. And it's just sharing. Like, sharing your experience, sharing your knowledge, sharing everything, and it's karma. It comes back to you. And it's not luck. I don't like to use the word luck. I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I'm just very fortunate, and I just never gave up. And I'm truly happy. I'm getting better with age. I love my life, and I couldn't say that 4 years ago. I could not. I couldn't, for the first time in my life, I've ever said I could say that. I truly am love where I am today, and I'm super excited, because I'm just curious now how far I can really go.
Like, now you gotta push it. Now you gotta keep pushing it. Yeah. Right? Now you got the formula, so you got the formula, now you just gotta multiply it. Yeah.
I'm just not afraid. Like, it's not afraid to, like, tell people, like, just cut people out of my life. Not cut them out, but just keep them at a distance. You can love them, but can't be around them, and I'm not, and like that's the hardest part. Once you do it once or twice, and once you get at the ball, and once you get the snowball rolling down the hill, what does it happen? It gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
that's life,
easier.
man.
Yeah, it gets easier.
Starts off as a snowball, and it grows to a human. Like it's massive. Like it's just like it's crazy. It blows your mind. Like it's euphoric. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
euphoric. It's like, so I mean, look
So
at you. You got your own podcast now.
Yeah, I know. And that was just like, literally, that was overnight. I made the decision and the next day I started it. So it's like, that's how quick. You just had to set your mind on something, And in your case, you had 2 houses. And so what you ended up doing? Flipping them? Did you just like, hey?
I ended up flipping them.
Yeah.
I flipped them and then like from there I bought my house that I live in now and I rent it out and I live like, and I had that house paying for it. And I've done since in the 3 years, I've done like 12 to 15 houses.
Yeah. And so you just kept the cycle. I mean, obviously you
kept
lived for
going,
2
and
as
now
well.
I'm looking
So,
at,
it's not, yeah.
Yeah. Like it's just, now I'm looking at like 200, like I'm looking at apartment buildings. Now I'm looking at, like I'm leveling. Now I'm like, okay, well, now you've done this, you're good. Okay, what's the next level? I always like to think of Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
And like
I know.
level
I follow
up,
Grant. I follow Grant
cool,
too.
eh?
Yeah, he is. I actually didn't discover him until December, I think. And then I was like, wait, we share a lot of similarities here because he's been in real estate a long time and I have too. And I'm just like, okay, this is really cool. And he's business and I've been in business since 20-something years too. So I was like, oh, this is really cool, And he's like all over the place now. Like, just to see his momentum. It's definitely
his mindset is like, it's just shifting. It's like challenge. Like I can really just say challenge yourself. Like it's just like, it's okay to feel uncomfortable. And we talked about this. Like it just, that's the soup. That's the recipe right there. Like just, and it's like the videos and posting online. Like I see you doing a great job on doing your videos and your TikToks and all that stuff. I'm like,
thank
that's
you.
not easy for you. That's not easy.
Sometimes it is. Sometimes I'm like confident and I'm just like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care what I look like. But literally when I took those ones the other day, like 4, I had to cut my lawn. I haven't cut my lawn like in 10 years because I have a guy that's been my lawn guy for 10 years. And I had to cut my lawn because his wife's sick and he just lost an employee. So it's just him and 2 other guys. So they can't take on any work right now. And I'm just like, well, I have a tractor. I'm like, so literally I went out and I cut it with the tractor. It looks terrible, by the way, but it's good. It's down. It's not like chest high anymore. But so after all that, I was like, you know what? I feel like shooting some videos, and I just literally like click play. I was like, what do I feel like talking about? And so I was like, I don't care. I like the message will get there to who needs it.
Exactly. It's not perfection. It's just doing it. Like I feel the same way. It's like I kind of like, I know quality of videos are like people like quality videos, but you gotta start somewhere. Like you just gotta do it. Just film it, put it out there, and you did it. And you're only gonna get better.
This is why I really like Gary Vee. And really, I've seen Gary Vee back when he did the wine TV because I've been an online entrepreneur since before Google. But, off and on the years, I kind of retired from it for the last 10 years, actually getting back onto it. Like I was totally out of this space for 10 years and I approached it back in, again, I would say around March of this year. And as I was building my network through social media, never was even really on social media. So totally new. But so yeah, I discovered Gary Vee's been like at it like for the last 10 years. And I'm like, holy, he has changed. Because I remember seeing his wine TV when YouTube came out. I didn't really watch it, but I saw he had a presence, right? Because his videos were everywhere. And just seeing where he was, because that's how I remembered him, to where he's at now, I'm just like, what did he do in what you said there a little while ago? It's just getting, the momentum and stuff like that. And he's basically like, that's where I relate with, I don't care if I'm wearing makeup. I don't care if I do, because I want to attract, clients that, can afford me, things like that, when we're talking business and stuff like that. I do care on that level. However, there's so much noise out there in the world. It's just getting exposure. Really, if you can get more exposure, you're already winning past any type of like big name company that is going to spend time to like beautify things. because it's all about the content, you know? So it's all about putting relevant, good content out there. And then from there, you're just going to automatically grow. So as long as you have a message that is strong, it doesn't matter what you look like, how old you are, nothing, because people will relate to the content more than they'll ever relate to how beautiful you look. Because they'll look at you and say, well, she's good looking, but she doesn't, you know, she's not very, you know, knowledgeable in this area. And then eventually they'll unfollow you because, you know, you don't have no value you're giving them. So, yeah.
Bring value, We all look to be different and all bring value. Bring value in what you bring and what you want to talk about either way. So just, you don't know until you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like you said, just do it. Like that's what Gary Vee says. He says, just do it.
Yeah.
And that's why when you said, look, when you look back on it, I went back on some of the people I follow on YouTube, and I went back way back.
I do that too. I do that too because I'm kind of curious.
And you're like, no shit, man. I was like, this guy was like, he's like me. He was me. I'm like, then that gives you confidence. You're like, wow. I'm not the, like, again, you're not alone.
Always a level above you. There's always a level above you. Yeah.
He's just more comfortable doing it now. He's done it like 100 videos and you do it. Like, you just get comfortable and comfortable. You just take the emotion out of it. Stop judging yourself. Stop thinking about what other people are thinking. That's their problem. You want to bring value? Just do it. Just say it. Whatever, you know?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, any other things that you want to touch on today as we finish up this amazing journey we've been on? What's that?
Right. This is like, I think it was a great chat so far.
It's been wonderful. We cover all kinds of stuff. We cover business, a little bit of real estate. Let's see, mindset, personal development. You know, fitness. I mean, what didn't we cover today? I think we got it.
I don't know.
I'm
lost.
Yeah. What else is there? I mean, that's all the stuff that matters, right? So.
Good conversation. I love this stuff. I love it, to be honest with you. It's just sharing with people, and like you said, you just go get it, man. Just don't be afraid and do life. You know, like life is life can be so amazing. I tell you, life on the other side is just so good. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Just keep going. Wherever your passion is, whatever your purpose, you know, if you don't know your purpose, don't worry about it. Just keep going because you're going to figure it out. The more you do,
you'll find it.
Like Matthew said that, you know, he didn't know what the heck he liked in fitness, so he did everything. How many trainers did you have? How many trainers was that you said?
I went through like 6.
Yeah, 6 trainers. See, he wasn't sure, you know.
Wasn't sure, and that's it. Same with therapists. Like, you just, like, not the right one, move on.
You don't ever deplete. Do the Grant Cardone thing. He doesn't deplete anything. If you actually read his books, he says that, you know, most people in business, when they hit a hurdle, they'll like downsize and fire people. He expands. And I was like, yeah, now if you think about it, that's how the world works. You know, if you want to get to the next hurdle, think of like a tree's growth. You know, if they can't get water like over a hill, where they put roots down the hill, or will they just die? Most likely they'll figure it out, right? So yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just figure it out.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been awesome having you, Matthew. Thank you for coming on this program, Message of Hope, Stories from Struggle to Success, with me. And, you know, definitely, you know, awesome connecting. Where can people find you, and what are you doing right now? So you're doing real estate. You're looking at like globally. Is that something you're currently doing right now?
I'm making plans right now. We're just in the planning phase of going internationally into the States, and maybe being in the Caribbean. Well,
okay.
Pardon me?
Where at is your next projection? Where do you see yourself going next, I should say?
Curacao, you all in the States, either Florida, Tampa, Buffalo. Those are my kind of what I got my eye on right now.
Okay.
Curacao or St. Vincent in the Caribbean, and then just continue my journey in Canada. Like in certain parts of Canada, done like in BC, and cottages, and just different types of investing.
Do you do single family homes?
Like commercial.
Usually single family?
Pardon me?
Is it mostly single family homes?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I do mostly single family right now, but I'm elevating to like a multi-unit, like 40 like apartment buildings
Yeah,
and stuff.
apartment
I'm
buildings.
upping my level
Mid-size,
there.
mid-size apartments.
Yep. Yeah, I want to get into some passive income and stuff, and I'm just doing different strategies instead of flipping. Flipping helped me get to where I am today, but it's time to evolve and put that money to work and elevate it. You can find me on Facebook, Matthew Scott, or at mjsproperties.ca. I have my own website.
I'm gonna write that down. What's the website?
JS. Yep. Properties.
Properties with the what is it? IES? Okay.
Yep.
And dot what?
.ca.
CA. Okay. Yeah. Yep. All right. So
and I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook and yeah. If you want to reach out, there's my email and everything on my website there. You can reach out to me anytime. We'd love to have a chat with you. If anyone resonates with any of this, I'd love to talk further. And I appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on your podcast. I had a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun. Definitely.
I'm glad you're doing this. I'm glad you're doing this.
I really love doing this, actually. Yeah.
People need to hear this, and I'm very grateful for you to be doing this, and I'm sure other people will be too.
Thank you so much, Matthew. It means a lot. It really does. It means a lot. So I'll have this information for anybody that's listening. It does go up on the YouTube channel as well, so you can see the video there. That's under amena.media to get directly to there. For the podcast, you can type in amena.fm to get directly to that channel to listen to this. This is episode, so you guys know, episode 37. So we're on episode 37 today with Matthew Scott, talking about the message of hope, stories from struggle to success. And we covered quite a bit. So you definitely have to check this episode out. If you haven't listened to the whole thing and skipped to the end for whatever reason, so you totally missed out. So you got to rewind and listen to it again. There was a lot of really good information we covered. We covered health, we covered fitness, we covered, weight loss in general, like, total transformation.
Mindset.
Business. Yeah, mindset. We talked a little bit about meditation. We might actually have to cover that on another, that other series I touched base on a little bit behind the scenes called Connections. That's where that would go. So where, Matthew would have to walk us through one of his meditation guided sessions and we can all learn that. So definitely have to make that
happen. Really interesting. So, that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, so we'll have all links and contact information on the description, so you guys can reach out to Matthew. And if you're interested in growing a portfolio with him, you know who to contact. All right, guys. Thank you again, Matthew. Awesome connecting, and I'll see you soon. Take care.
Take care.